Coucou everyone, welcome back. It's your host GV and I hope you're having an amazing day. Since I don't want to waste your time, let's go right into the video. We have a new mysterious jungle mode in Sanhok. The first and best tip that I'm going to give you is that the best place and the fastest way to loot in Sanhok right now is going to be in Ban. A lot of people are thinking about the hot air balloons or they are trying to find the totems, so this place for the next couple of days is going to be completely empty. This strategy works even better when the plane track is not close to Ban. So let me show you really quick why I'm so excited about this place. And as you can see, the answer is going to be totems. But why? Because there's still a lot of tips and tricks that I need to tell you about this place. The first one is going to be a pro tip. If you are really good at landing and you always manage to get here first, you need to remember to always go for the red light totem first. And that's because 99% of the times only these ones are going to give you a weapon. Now if you don't know why totems are so important, it's because some of them will heal you, some of them will give you complete boost, and of course because of the amazing loot. We're talking about weapons, ammo, snipers, medkits, syringe, level 3 armor, 4x scope, 6x scope, and of course if you are lucky enough, the flare gun. And something that I didn't mention is that sometimes they will even renew your armor. This is really important, especially if you got into a fight. But why? Because there's even more, and this is completely crazy. Believe it or not, if you wait a couple of minutes, not a lot, you can actually unlock the totems as much as you want. That means that you will be able to fully gear a squad if you stay here. And I noticed that most of the times the blue zone wasn't even a problem. If you are feeling bored or you don't want to wait for a long time, remember that you can get on top of this platform and you will be able to dance by yourself or with your teammates. And if you want to lead a party, you can get on top of this huge totem. This is a free emote, so don't worry if you're new to the game and you don't have any dance moves. Anyways, and moving on, the strategy that I told you about is for chill players that they just want to play safe, they don't want to lose a lot of points, and that they are not ready to hot drop in bootcamp. But it's also for pro players who want to have a quick start and they don't want to spend their whole time looting. And in case you're wondering, I managed to activate every totem at least 3 times. So let me show you the loot that I got really quick, and take into account that I'm only using a level 1 backpack. Also, and if you're paying attention, you can see that this strategy is an easy way to complete the Lost Trunk event. And thanks to the Lost Treasures event, you can see that you can collect 5 Lost Trunks per day in order to get totem fragments. Once you collect 7 fragments, you will be able to collect this permanent shirt for free. And if you don't like this map but you want a shirt, I already made a video of the top locations where you can find Lost Trunks in Erangel, and the locations of every totem in the map, link in the description if you want to know more. Moving on, and something really important is that in this place, since you can unlock 6 totems, you will have a higher chance to get a flare gun. And in case you didn't get one, let me show you a location where you can find a flare gun. It's not a guarantee, but at least you know it can drop here. Once you get to this point, you will find a totem uphill next to the sniping tower. There you go, just as promised. And please don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell, you have no idea how much it helps. Moving on, and the main problem of this strategy is that I never got a backpack. But that's not a problem because remember that next to you, there's an area where you can find more loot. Also take into account that if you are bored or you don't want to wait here forever, next to you there are more houses that you can loot. In some occasions you can find a vehicle on this road, and there are more totems in this area and a hot air balloon if you want to check it out. But wait, there's even more. I haven't finished with this place yet. This is why I told you Ban right now is the best place in Sanhok. And if you go to these rocks, it's most likely that you will find a lot, and I mean a lot, of jungle food. If you don't know why this is so important, don't worry because I'm going to explain it right away. But first, and here's another tip, take into account that bots can also have jungle food on them. So let me show you really quick how much jungle food I got. And don't worry, you don't need to get as much as I did, but I will always recommend to keep a high amount in your inventory. Here's why. If you eat jungle food, you will have special abilities. For example, you might be able to see the distance of the shots on your map. And this is extremely useful, especially if you're like me and you never know where the enemy is shooting from. We are talking about 30 meters, more than 100 meters, 187, more than 200 meters, and probably even more. So let me know down below if you want to see this in a Mythbusters episode. And yes, this ability also works with vehicles. Another important ability is that the jungle food will keep you boosted. And my favorite one is that you will be able to see the airdrops on the map. But before that, here's a pro tip. Notice how you are able to stack abilities and even recharge them. And this is the reason why I recommend to pick as much jungle food as you can. You want to spam this button eating all the time and keep these abilities as long as possible, especially during fights. Moving on, and the next ability is supposed to be a disadvantage. Even though you will feel dizzy, from what I test, this will disappear while you are shooting and your recoil is not going to change. So yet again, this one is not important, eat the fruit as much as you can. Now sometimes you will get this message, you will not be able to eat, but it's only for a couple of seconds, so I recommend you just ignore it and keep spamming that button. The next tips and tricks that I want to tell you is regarding the balloons. First of all, if you see this purple one, the small one, just ignore it. These balloons start going up when the match starts or when you get close to them, and there's no way you can get inside. Now for the yellow one, if you didn't know, once you get to the hot air balloon you can actually get inside. Control it, go all the way up. And if you press look around, you will be able to see the location of the totems in that area. Also, take into account that you don't need to go all the way up to the highest level to look around. Now here's a pro tip that I'm pretty sure nobody else knows. If you manage to look around in one balloon, and you need to remember this, there is no point of getting inside another hot air balloon. And that's because the ability of looking around, which means you will be able to see the totems in that area, will only work once per match. Believe me, I tried this with 3 different hot air balloons in one single match and only one of them worked. So be smart and don't waste your time. You can see here how confused I was, that I needed to look around one more time just to be sure. So you're probably liking all these tips and tricks, and especially this event. You want to play it now, but you need to know first that the new Jungle Tribe event is completely random, which means that even if you play 5 games in a row in Sanhok, there's a chance that you will not see this event. And here's a really important pro tip: if you are constantly exiting the map with teammates because you didn't get that Jungle Adventure mode, and this pretty much counts for the first one getting out, you will eventually get banned. Don't worry, it's not a permanent ban, it's only for a couple of minutes, but it's still really annoying. And remember that the best way to know if you got that Jungle Adventure mode is to open the map while you're in the lobby, and if you see the balloons, that means that you made it. Now the next tips and tricks that I want to tell you is regarding the totem barriers. The easiest and fastest way to get one to try it is while you are on the lobby, just run as fast as you can until you get to one totem pole. It doesn't matter which one you choose, all of them are going to give you the same thing, and it's always 100% chance, which means you will always get it. After that, you just need to try it and have fun. And since I know a lot of people are going to ask, this is the number of bullets you need to break one of these with the M762.
Enchanté.
And I gotta tell you that I'm pretty impressed with this thing. Sadly, with the M24 or the sniper, it's going to be a whole different story. So yeah, never use a sniper with this thing, it's not a way to do it. And the answer is going to be no, you will not be able to break it with your fist. Believe me, I try. And here's a pro tip: you can actually stack 2 of these or more. If you are a pro player and you get creative, you can start reaching places you're not supposed to reach. Another real question is going to be, what can you use to destroy this thing? Not a gas can, sadly. One grenade is not going to be enough, not even for the upper part, and take into account that if you crouch, that's pretty much an easy headshot. Now for the Molotov cocktail is where things are going to get more interesting. You will not be able to destroy it for obvious reasons, but this barrier is going to do a really good job protecting you. And here's a better example if you want to be sure. But listen carefully, because here's a pro tip. The worst enemy of this barrier is going to be time. If you wait for a couple of minutes, I think it's 3, this barrier is going to be destroyed by itself. So if you're thinking to spam a bunch of these and snake the whole match, I'm really happy this is not going to work. But wait, because here's another pro tip and something really cool that we found. If you don't like hot air balloons or you don't want people to use them, just throw as many barriers as you can inside of them. If done correctly, you will not be able to control the balloon, that means that it's not going to fly. Pro snipers, this is a really cool and funny way to troll and bait people. Also, if you didn't know, PUBG Mobile removed the drive mode completely. This really sucks for me because this video is going to be extra dead, nobody's going to watch it. Anyways, what I'm going to tell you is just my opinion, so let me know down below what you think. To understand this, let me tell you a little bit of backstory. The first day the event was released, there was a special emote and a word invoking, but now they changed to unlock and there's no more emote. This is because a group of players complained about this and they told PUBG Mobile this was offensive to them. PUBG Mobile reacted really quick making these changes. I'm really glad they still listen to the players. I really hope these players can forgive PUBG Mobile, and I'm pretty sure they didn't want to offend anyone and that they didn't do it on purpose. Anyways, I just thought it was really interesting, so thank you so much for watching and I will snipe you soon. Tschüss.